Alright, so here we are for Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa. What a cool tune. Lots of kind of funky Prince influence here. The way I've arranged this song, although it's very synth and piano heavy, I think there is a tiny little bit of guitar in there, so I've tried to emulate the main synth and then some of the higher keyboard parts as well as we go. So to do that, and to put it all on one guitar effectively, I've actually tuned to drop D. So if you're not sure, that's just taking the low E string and we're tuning it down to a D. All the rest of the strings are the same, so we call that drop D tuning. Really common in lots of rock guitar playing, and it's a nice little trick here to help us emulate this low bass synth part. So the intro then, we've got this little pickup. There's a kind of a voice sound effect, then the bass line actually comes in. So we're going to come in on beat 3, so we're counting 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, and those notes are quavers, so that would be 3 and 4 and. So that's the first thing we play. Then we get into our low, what is a now D string. I'm going to keep calling it the low E, just for the sake of convenience for your head. If I keep referring it to a D, you might not be used to that tune down. Of course, it is a D, but we're used to talking in terms of standard tunes, so I'm just going to keep calling it the E string for the sake of ease through this tutorial. So we're going to play our open E, and we've got that first fret. So the bar number 2 on the tab there would be, and then that little phrase is going to go again. Just that first fret. I'm doing that all with my first finger. When we reach bar 4, now just the 2 open strings. Key to all these notes, as soon as I've played them, I'm doing left hand muting. So I'm playing the notes and then my left hand is going very gently down, quickly but gently, to touch the open string. You could do right hand muting, so pick, and then your picking hand touches the string. But I don't like to do that. I like to have my pick ready to hit the string and my left hand, my fretting hand, is doing the muting. So to keep the sound here, we want to make sure we get the rest between all these notes. We don't want to hear this. With the rest, as we do want to hear it, this is from bar 2. I'm just going to play bar 2 through to bar 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully you can hear there's a really big difference there, so watch out for your muting when you're playing these notes. So bar 5, we've then got our quavers back. Quavers are half beat notes. We're counting those 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We don't actually have a whole bar of quavers, it's actually just the first 2 beats. So the 3rd fret, the 5th fret notes. 1 and 2 and. Beat 3 is the 7th fret. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3. That note's going to be played short. You'll notice in the notation above, it's written as a crotchet, which is a 1-beat note, but it's got a dot underneath it. That dot, it means staccato, so short and sharp. So just again, that set. And then we've got our 2nd fret note to finish that bar. So that'd be 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. And that 2nd fret's going to lead us straight back in to the next bar, bar 6 for the open string again. So if we just put the whole first line together, bar 2 to bar 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then straight on to the next line, very, very similar. We're still doing our open E string and then the 1st fret with the same pattern as before. But now when we get to bar 9, we start that phrase that we had earlier, but we're only going to go as far as the 7th fret. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3, rest. And that is verse number 1. So if we just put that whole thing together, this is verse number 1 all the way through. We'll do the little pickup for the intro as well. So I'm going to count 1, 2, and then we'll jump in and play those first notes. Nice and slow. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. There's our whole verse 1. All right, I'll see you for the chorus. Okay, so the first chorus for this tune is where she starts singing I Know You're Dying to Try and Figure It Out. And we're playing a few chords here. We've got a D minor chord. We'll just go through the chords first. D minor, C. This next one, D minor over B, is how we'd pronounce it. So we're playing what is actually the first chord again. The reason the name has changed is that the bass guitar, bass synth, is actually playing a different note below us. So we're playing the top half of a chord, which is still a D minor. The bass is putting the note of B in there as well. So D minor over B. And then a G chord. So one more time, D minor, C. I'm actually doing that with just one finger, pressing first finger flat. The D minor over B, remember, is actually the same shape for us as the first chord, just D minor. And then G here at the third, fifth fret. And our rhythm would be 1, 2, and 3, 4. 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 Nice and easy to use down strums there. You could go down up, but because there's nice space in between the chords, down strums I think work fine. The muting again is very important. You can hear there's a gap between those two chords. So we've got 1, 2 is silent, and then the and. Instead of playing it like this, 1, 2, and 3, 4, everything rings. We want it to be dead in between. That's what gives this kind of funky staccato feel. Remember, staccato means short and sharp. So let's just play through that whole line. But this is bar 10 to 13. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 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 3, 4. Next line, bar 14 through to 17, starts the same way. First three chords are the same. However, we get this nice little run at the end. So we're going to play the 5th fret. I'm going to do this on the low string with my 3rd finger. It quavers 1, and then we're going to go to the 2nd fret on the A string for 2, 3rd fret, which is actually on beat 3 as well. And then at the end here, these 4s and the 5, this is where we're going to have to employ some down-up picking, because these notes are semiquavers. Counting-wise, we'd count that 4, E, and that is, 4 E and 4 E and Make sure I play all the notes. And down-up picking there. So these are semiquavers. We count them. I'll do that really slow. That's a 4 E and Picking-wise, down, up, and counting-wise, 4 E and With all the counting there, mixing quavers and semiquavers, we've got, here we go, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4 E and just playing, no counting, although I will count it in. 3, 4. So because those last notes go so fast, to keep it up to speed and keep it smooth, that's why the down-up picking is really important. All right, let's play that whole line then. Bar 14 to 17. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. And then just for fun, let's put the whole of this chorus together. This is going to be bar 10 through to 17, and I'll count it in. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next line. And the run. There we go. So that is our first chorus, and the subsequent choruses are going to be very, very similar to that. But on to the next section for the bridge. Okay, so the bridge section, bar 18, with the words, no matter what you do. And this section stays very much the same every time it happens as well. So we're back onto our low string, playing the open string and the 1st fret. The kind of addition here, the main addition is this little hammer-on. So you can see that at the end of bar 19. 3 to 5 hammer-on, so I'm going to do 1st finger to 3rd finger. Pick the 3, drop down the 3rd finger. But remember, 1st finger is going to stay on. And to get the hammer-on, really be quite tough and hard on the 3rd finger. one pick, then hammer. And we're trying to keep both notes the same volume, so we don't want the pick note to be really loud and then our hammer on to be almost not there. We want nice even volume. So if we just play bar 18 and bar 19, that would sound like this. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a quick hammer on. That's going to lead us into bar 20. So in reality, when we put 19 to 20 together, we're going to do this hammer on and then hit the open string immediately after. And carrying on with the open string again. And then bar 21, another quick hammer on. So we've had that first bit of the phrase there before, earlier on, but we've just added in this new hammer on again. So let's put bar 18 through to 21 together here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And you might need to practice that hammer on a little bit before you can play that along. If you can't really do the hammer at the moment, you can pick both the notes. It's fine. But I think it sounds much cooler, and it's a good chance to work on, obviously, a newer technique with the hammer-ons. So that's that line. Next line, bar 22 through 25, we're doing the same stuff. At the end as well, we've got our hammer-on. So we won't dwell on this line. Let's just play it straight through. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Alright, that is the end of our first bridge section. So we're going to then lead that into verse 2. Just a note before we move on into verse 2, we're going to do this hammer on right at the end of bar 25. And again, the first note in bar 26 happens immediately. So we'd actually play the hammer on and the open string straight in to join those two sections together seamlessly. So actually in verse 2, we're not really playing a lot. It starts with the words, can't be a rolling stone. It's more kind of a rap at this point. Drums are taking more prominence. The synths and stuff are not really playing much. So you can see we play one note, then we're resting for beats 2, 3, and 4. Then we have a whole bar rest, whole 4 beats rest in bar 27. Then we just play the first note in bar 28. Again, resting, resting, resting. All the way until bar 32, and we play one more note. So if we just play these, count it all out straight away, there's going to be an awful lot of counting and silence. So what you do play is more important. Keep everything silent with your hands resting on the strings in between. Counting, very important here. So count along with me. That's going to make sure you're going to get the notes in the right place. So bar 26 all the way through to 33. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, next line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, bar 32. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So like I said, we're not really playing very much. It's more about the counting there to get things right. You could omit all of those notes. They're just a token to put something in there to fill the downbeats, beat 1 every time with the synth. So let's not dwell on that. Let's skip on to chorus 2. Alright, so chorus 2, just like before, same chords, same rhythms, starting with the same words as well. I know you're dying to try and figure it out. So this is bar 34, and we're not going to dwell on this. The chords are the same, as is the rhythm, like I said. So we're going to play this straight through. Watch out in bar 41, because the riff at the end, where we're playing single notes, now we're going to play the 5th fret of the low string, 7th fret, moving down a string to the 3rd fret, and then we're going to do our down-up picking like earlier for the 4s and the 5th frets. And that still is 4, E, and Okay, so let's just practice that last bar 41 as it's a little different from what we had earlier. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, E, and without the counting, although I'll count it in. 3, 4. Okay, let's put the whole of this chorus together then straight away, and obviously you can rewind and watch it as you need to because it's largely the same as chorus 1. Here we go. This is 34 all the way to 41. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 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 3, 4. And that's our chorus number 2. So we're going to move straight on to bridge number 2. Alright, so bridge number 2, we've had these parts before, and again it's starting with the lyrics no matter what you do. So we're back to playing our open string at the bottom there. We're still going to have our little hammer on we covered earlier, the 3 to 5 move on the A string. 1 down pick and then hammer. That's going to happen a few times in here. So really the addition here, after we've played bar 49, which is our run, the ascending riff, gives you the hammer on, straight to an open string. And it's that bar 50, that I've labelled the break, which is with that one note in. That's sort of one additional bar to transition us into the middle 8, the funky section that's going to happen next. So as these two lines are largely the same, this is what we've done before, with the addition of that one extra bar 50. We're just going to play them straight through. So I'll count it in, play it with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. All right, on to the middle 8. Okay, so the middle 8, probably my favourite part of the tune here, starting the music at 51. We've got some dead notes. These X's that you can see are dead notes. So what I'm doing is I'm flattening out my first finger kind of across the 3rd fret here, although my other fingers then going 4 and 5 as well. Just gently playing out the fingers, not pressing down, because if you press down, you're going to get notes when you strum. We just want to put our fingers on the strings, touching them, not pressing down, so when you strum, you get the dead notes. So it's percussive, but there's no pitch. You can't say it's an F or a G or give it any note. So we've got a down up strum doing that. And then our first finger is going to play the 3rd fret on the D string. And we're going to hit this note and bend it. So we go. So down, up, and then when we actually hit the 3rd fret, it's a down, down, up, down. And I'm pulling that D string towards the floor. And on the tab, it's marked as a full bend. So full would mean pulling it enough for 3 to sound 2 frets higher, like 5. So we want this note to sound like this note. That's how it's written. In reality, it goes by pretty fast. So a good strong pull down, if it doesn't quite get there, it's not really going to be that noticeable. So that's what we've got in the first bar. For the first beat, sorry. And then we do 2 more down strums. Down up strums as dead notes, sorry. So we've got down, up, then the 3rd fret note. Then another down, up, and then with my 3rd finger this time I'm going to play the 5th fret. And these are quick, so I'm going to play them with a down up pick. So just that section together, we've got 2 dead notes, then a pitched note, 2 dead notes, and pitched again. So we've got. And then to finish the bar, another 2 sets of dead notes. So down, up again, down, up. The whole bar, this is bar 51 put together, would be 3, 4. And again. And really important there is the rest between the 5th fret notes, rest, then the next down up strums. So everything is very separated out. It's very clear and precise. So we're just going to loop that round. You can see the percentage signs that follow that, bar 52, 53, 54. Those are single bar repeats. What that's telling us is to play this phrase once because it's written out, and then 3 more times. Just saves putting a lot of notes on the page that then our eyes have to look at and decipher. So let's just play that 4 times. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. On to the next line, bar 55, you can see that percentage sign 3 more times. So we would play it 3 more times, the same phrase. And then to get out of this in bar 58, we're going to do some picking, all on the D string. And these notes are in quick pairs, semiquaver pairs, so down up picks. And again, the rest in between the notes are very important. So you play the note, dead stop. 2 ways you could do it. Again, you pick the notes and your picking hand goes down on the string. Or, as I'm doing it, my first finger is lifting up the pressure. It's not coming right off the string. That's me squeezing down the string. As soon as I lift the pressure up, the note dies. So it's a good way to practice, actually. You pick your note, then just let the pressure go on your left hand, just slightly, and the note will die. So there's our last bar there. And that's our bridge. Really fun section, but it might take a little while to get. Okay, on to the kind of jazzy breakdown next. Okay, so for this jazz breakdown, the synths and everything else takes a back seat to the piano. And it gets really jazzy here. Lots of extra chords and things added in. Very, very cool. There is, just panned right, so in the right speaker, the right earphone, there's a very high part that has featured earlier in the song. So what I've written out is emulating that a little bit more. And it's, again, it's not really a part that's there. There's no guitar in this. It's just trying to fill the gap and get something close and practical for a guitar to play at this point. So this part then, bar 59, it's a D minor chord. We're just up high, so 15th on the B and 13th on the high E string. And it's the same rhythm we had earlier. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Then bar 60, we've got 4 beats rest. Then we're coming back down for this, what was 5, 6, 7. It's really a D minor chord. Again, it has a different label in this part of the song based on the fact that the other instruments, keyboards and piano and stuff, are doing something slightly different. So the names that are written here reflect the overall chords and harmony that are happening, not just what I've written out here. So take them with a pinch of salt, but obviously you've got the tab to tell you what to play. So we've got 1, 2, and 3, 4, then rest, 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 and then another 4 beats rest. So that's that line. On to the next one, we're going back up again, 13, 15, back down to the 5th position, and then a run that we did earlier, well, very similar to what we did earlier, here in bar 66, 1 and 2 and 3 and again the last note's down up pick. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E. Nice rest after that, because it's that rest that's going to give us a chance to move our hand ready for the next chord, for the next section. So with this one, I would put my right hand down, my strumming hand down on the strings, and in the silence there, that's going to let you transition your hand. Then move. So we don't hit that last note. Finger comes off, we hear a ringing string. That's going to sound really messy when we're moving to our next chord. So that's it for that section. You could leave all of that out and just wait it out, just rest. But I think it's fun to put those little parts in to fill the gap there. So on to chorus 3. Okay, so for chorus 3 then, the lyrics again, I know you're going to try and figure it out. So bar 67 onwards, this is all stuff we've played earlier. In bar 74 though, we've got another run, so just let's have a look at that. So we're starting 5th fret, 3rd finger, then 2nd, 3rd, and here we're going to do the 4, down, up, down. So I've intentionally left one note off the end here because we want to be able to transition our hand back to the chord fast enough. And then back to the D minor chord. So let's just play this through 67 through 74. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. and then straight into the ending. Okay, so for the ending, this is now instrumental, 75 through to bar 82 here on the tab. This is now an instrumental section, so this is why I've called it ending, but the chords and the rhythms that we're playing are actually the same as we were doing in the final chorus previously, except when we get to bar 82 and our final ascending run. This time starts 5 to 7 on the low string. 1 pick now, 3rd fret on the A string, with an immediate stop after. And then bringing back our down up picking phrase from earlier. Down, up, 4 to 5. So the whole thing, 3, 4. So let's just put this whole section together. This is the ending. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our ending. So I hope you found this all useful. Rewatch it, rewind, send me any comments and questions and things that you might have, and I'll do my best to help. So I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.